Well, I nearly tripped up there. It would appear to me as though my collection, my retro gaming collection, it's changing, guys. Things are changing here. And I think this video, this episode is going to show you just why. Intro. So I have quite a few things to show you guys in this episode. Here's a little recap of the Birmingham retro game market. So a new venue for me, and it was absolutely phenomenal. Can't wait to go back down there. Didn't really have a patch on the size of the Doncaster gaming market, which I'm hoping to go to soon, whenever it may be. I think it's the end of the year or beginning of 2022. But I'm going to show you what I picked up and my console collection. My console collection is definitely changing. But first, I'm going to show you a new game called Doc Cosmos. What better way to show you guys this brand new homebrew game, Doc Cosmos, published by Bitmap Soft. They sent me this quite a while ago. I've had this for quite a while, and I just want to say first and foremost that in 2021 I love seeing new software come out for our gorgeous retro gaming consoles that we've all grown up with. You might ask, what is this? Well, this is a brand new Game Boy Color game, complete with manual and cartridge. The cartridge itself is blooming gorgeous. I'm going to give you guys a little close-up with this translucent, kind of deep lilac-y, kind of purple-esque colour. And let's take a look at some gameplay so you guys get to know what kind of game Doc Cosmos is. But if you're eagle-eyed, you may recognise it from the Commodore 64 era. Roll it. So pretty darn gnarly, bit of Doc Cosmos. I'll link Bitmap Soft's Twitter in the description. Go and check them out. I'm not paid to say this, but disclaimer, I did get this for free in exchange for some coverage in a video. Looking forward to seeing what these guys have got coming. Actually, I've been seeing stuff on their Twitter and it is quite exciting for me, so I may be making future purchases in the future. I also have a very special shout out for Gary because he sent along some stuff, but I'm going to save that one till the end. Let's drill down and I'm going to show you guys what I picked up from Birmingham. First up then, Castlevania. I'm going to take it out just in case there's a little bit of glare, and we'll try that again, but we'll keep that in. Castlevania on the Game Boy Advance. Yay! Thank goodness for Wikipedia, because we can plough some knowledge from Wiki into this little bit of voiceover. Now, Castlevania Circle of the Moon, known as Castlevania over here in the European Union,
was one of the first Game Boy Advance games to hit the shelves from the Castlevania series, and taking a look at some of this gameplay, it is a mighty fine twist of everything that works well with Castlevania: Simon's whip, side-scrolling action, and flames. You see that text previously, Bonehead, and here Skeleton Bomber? I absolutely love that the name of the enemies flash up on the screen, as well as have a little hit marker, a little point marker with every little kill. This is a great game, all joking aside, guys, and I think it stays true to the ethos of Castlevania. Simon Belmont, you are my absolute hero, and I think we need to give Simon more credit within the gaming world. He's a babe.
So you guys may know it as Circle of the Moon if you're not in the European Union regions, the PAL Gaming, the European PAL Gaming, and I have been very, very eager to play this again for quite some time, and it was the first game I actually picked up. This game for me has a kick-ass little soundtrack. Love the different sprites. I love, like, you know, you're kind of meandering through the level, you've got enemies on the top, you know, they're like the slimes that drip down. You got enemies along the bottom. You can slide attack. You can obviously use Simon's gorgeous whip. I just think Castlevania has been such a consistent game on 2D. I think when Castlevania for me became more 3D, Lords of Shadows, for example, on the gorgeous PlayStation 3, I didn't like it as much. I much prefer the 2D style of Castlevania games. So I picked this up and it's in reasonable condition. This game came out right here on this particular date, and it followed, I think this was the first of 3 Game Boy Advance Castlevania, so pretty darn cool. I really like to see more from the Castlevania franchise coming up. Have watched the Netflix shows actually. Let me know if you've watched the Netflix Castlevanias, because yeah, pretty darn epic. Now, so far in this episode, I've shown 2 handheld video games, and that's where I think for me, my kind of yearning to play games is stemming right down at the minute to handhelds, and particularly Pokemon. So I picked up Pearl, and I picked up the white version of Pokemon. Now, I've played Pokemon Black because I do own it, but I've never played Pokemon Pearl. So I am super duper excited to be able to dive into this, and I really like the box art on this. It's got that kind of purpley shimmer. I'll probably show you guys on B-roll. And I've been asking a lot recently over on the socials, what is a good Pokemon game that you can recommend? And X and Y keeps coming up a lot. X and Y I don't own, so I will be diving into looking at buying some X and Y and maybe playing them. And I've recently been doing a bit of research because, for example, you got Pokemon Black and Pokemon White. We'll use this as an example. Same games, but with slightly different accents in terms of music, obviously title screen. And Pokemon tend to do that a lot. You've got Sword and Shield of late, and I've been looking at differences, and it's arguably very subtle in the differences between the 2 games, like Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee as well. But I really like that, and I really like the whole Pokemon ecosystem. It's something at the minute that I'm just becoming so obsessed with. Not so much the trading card game. I did go through a phase of collecting the trading card games, but for me, just diving into these worlds. I've loved top-down stuff anyway, right back from Link to the Past. So for me, just being able to experience Pokemon as an adult, because I completely overlooked it when I was growing up, it's like brand new to me. I love it, I buzz off it. Can't wait to dive into more. Now, you guys remember Wave Race? Surely you guys remember Wave Race.
Wave Race.
Absolutely wicked, because it was that game that tempted me to pick up the cheapest game I found at Birmingham Retro Game Market, Carve. I'm going to show you some gameplay of Carve right now. Extreme Watercraft Racing apparently looks pretty gnarly, feels pretty gnarly, doesn't really live up to what, for me, Wave Race looks like. I think it's definitely got a duller colour palette for my taste, but it only cost me £4, and whilst it's missing manual, kind of didn't care because manuals are pretty easy to pick up. So this was actually the cheapest game that I picked up, and for me going into this market I wanted quality over quantity, but like I said, £4, I stepped it down a bit because these titles that I picked up were pretty up there, and that's the direction I'm taking my collection going forward. It's going to be about quality over quantity, but every now and again I'm going to be diving into these smaller titles, especially if I'm doing something like the £5 game challenge, which I'm looking at developing, so stay tuned for that. But Carve, Wave Race, if you've played that, go and check this out. Yes, Breath of Fire 1 and 2 I picked up recently on the Game Boy when I visited a really cool retro game shop in Leicester called Super Game Shack. So it felt right to me to go into this market and pick up Breath of Fire 3. Now I paid £60 for this, it was priced at £65. It does go for a little bit cheaper on eBay, but they reluctantly gave it to me for $60. So it is relatively complete, doesn't have any of the warranty cards, whatever. I don't care so much about that. So for me it's complete with manual and disc. And again, I am looking forward to diving into this turn-based gorgeous RPG to complement my Game Boy Advance versions. I'm looking to get them on the Super Nintendo as well, Breath of Fire and Breath of Fire 2, because I really want to start to familiarise myself with the retro RPGs, because again, these for me were not around as much. So when I was growing up, you tended to see the mainstream titles, and Breath of Fire just for me, it just didn't seem to be mainstream. I never saw it in Woolworths, I never saw it in Blockbuster, but obviously growing up and attending lots of retro game shops and lots of retro game markets, I see these all the time. So my interest started to peak massively, and again, that whole notion of top-down, bright popping colours, pixels, sprites, oh my god, honestly for me it just buzzes, it just gives me such a buzz and I adore it. So I've never played Breath of Fire 3, so I don't really have much by way of kind of memories or things I can say about it. I can only convey how much I'm looking forward to playing it. But if you've got any feedback and you want to kind of recommend anything around Breath of Fire, please hit me up on Twitter, just hashtag it Team24 and I'll reply to you or leave a comment. Doom is the goddess of first-person shooters, but arguably Quake is pretty darn close. So it was nice to devote some time and love to the Sega Saturn, and with Quake dropping on Xbox Game Pass recently, I wanted to try it on my Sega Saturn. I will be streaming it over on my Twitch channel from my Xbox One S soon, but I've never played it on the Sega Saturn, and it's very much like Doom, obviously, we know that. It's nowhere near, for me, as good as Doom. The lure isn't as, I guess, charming as a first-person shooter with monsters can be, and the colour... Hello? Do you like Quake, Molly? Molly, bark if you like Quake. Bark. Do you like Quake? Yes. So it's pretty obvious that Molly likes Quake, and I'm looking forward to diving into this once the Ladyland is finished. She loves it, you see, on the Sega Saturn. Pokemon again, Mystery Dungeon. I picked it up for a £5. Reluctant purchase actually, because I have so many game guides and books that will all be going in the Lady Loft, in the library area of the Lady Loft, but nothing really much to say about this one. I think it's pretty good to get a Pokemon guide for a £5. It's a thumbs up from me. Now I'd like to give Gary a shout out and say thank you so much to Gary for helping me complete my Retro Gamer magazine collection. He filled in all of the issues that I didn't have, and he bundled in some really cool 3D printed artwork. This is actually my banner art and my logo that I will be hanging up very shortly. So this was really, really nice to have. I really think that's so cool. The detail on here is really, really cool. If you want to check him out, I'll link him in the description as well. Again, I'm not paid. He just sent me these and said, will you give me a shout out? So nice one, Gary. Thank you so much for helping me fill my Retro Gamer magazine collection. That's it. Thank you for watching. If you haven't watched the Birmingham episodes, they'll be linked in the cards. But I hope your guys are having a lovely day, and I'll catch you in the next one, and I'll see you in the streams over the weekend. Twitch.tv/thegebs24. But for now, subscribe here and let's get it, and I'll see you in the next one.